And we're back.
Hi.
We're trying to keep these dead air time to a minimum, so hopefully you'll see some improvements in the coming weeks. Anyway, more Magic. All right, we have Bob Levdanskey on the left. He's playing Grixis Control versus Marc Raschella on the right playing... What is Marc playing, Brain?
So we're going to have to switch our names real quick. We got them backwards here.
I will fix that.
But while you're fixing that, Marc is playing... So Marc likes to play Tron. He likes these big mana strategies that are doing, a little bit of setup and then on turn 3 or 4 playing a big old payoff spell. Today, Marc wanted to do something a little bit more spicy. Instead of playing your traditional, green-black Tron, green-white Tron, green-red Tron, he's playing Planeswalker Tron. So he's hoping to find the card Oath of Nissa, which he has in his hand right here.
Awesome.
Assemble Tron.
Wyatt, that is not appropriate.
And then... dang it, Wyatt. And after he assembles Tron, he wants to play a giant Planeswalker. Whether it be Ugin, or Karn, or, Nicol Bolas.
I want to see a Nicol Bolas on camera. Real bad.
I just want to see this happen. So, right now, Marc started off with a very powerful turn 1, probably one of Tron's best. He goes Tron land into map. So it looks like Marc's going to have turn 3 Tron, the namesake of his deck. And Bob here is going to probably...
He looks like he's going to 17.
Yeah, so we're probably going to see an end-step Thought Scour himself to try and generate a little card advantage.
It looks like I see a Spell Snagger. That was the only card I got to see in his hand. So he's going to target himself and get Serum Vision's Scalding Tarn, maybe?
Yeah, so Thought Scour works... It serves a really good purpose in this deck. People don't really always realize how powerful the card is.
Right.
Because it basically serves not only to act as a way to fill your graveyard, almost as a dark ritual that cantrips for your delve creatures like Gurmag Angler and Tasker.
Right.
But it also serves a neat little late game focus where after you put all these creatures and spells in your graveyard, you start to rip them back out of your graveyard and put them in your hand with cards like Kolaghan's Command and Snapcaster Mage.
It's also like your only instant speed draw spell that gives you an out to draw the counter spell you need in response to the Karn.
Right. It's kind of interesting. Like if you say Dark Ritual cantripping, that seems really insane, and that's basically what Grixis Control can make Thought Scour act as.
Last week during States, we had our champion Adam Labuka on camera. I want to say in 4 different feature matches, he just happened to before the cut, he found himself on camera twice, and I think was on camera twice afterwards. And there were so many turns where it's like, all right, I have to Thought Scour here and hope I draw something in response to this. And a couple times he got there.
So Bob's just spending a little bit of time being mana efficient, trying and putting a bolt at Marc's face here. He'll be able to buy that bolt back with a Snapcaster Mage maybe a few turns down the road.
Yeah, bolt has kind of a limited window of opportunity.
Karn ticked down. All right, I get your Karn, but you took my land with it.
Yeah.
So,
have you ever killed an Ugin with a bolt?
I have killed one with a Creeping Tar Pit.
Must feel really good.
Yeah.
Was that in this format?
Yeah. So
okay.
My opponent was dead on board to my Gurmag Angler, so he had...
Was it with the Mentor deck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, here's Snapcaster Mage targeting
Thought
Scour.
Yep, just trying to find more interaction here.
Looks like you drew a Fatal Push.
Yeah, Fatal Push, not the kind of interaction you want against the deck, playing 7 and 8 mana Sorcerer Speed Planeswalkers.
Yeah, not exactly ideal.
So we're going to see Bob serve up for 2 here. Marc's just going to take it, just being conservative with that O-Stone in case Bob were to drop something like a Tasker or Gurmag Angler this turn. So we're also playing Grixis Control, so I doubt we're going to see the Zombie Fish out of Bob. We're probably going to see more copies him trying to finish the game out with the legendary creature Tasker and Snapcaster Mage. Maybe a Vendilion Click or so.
Rob Barnhart, yes, we are playing Modern this evening. I'm sorry, we just pulled the Facebook chat back up. We have so many chats now. It's hard to keep them all up at once.
Yeah. Bob here, again, being a little bit mana efficient, serving another Lightning Bolt at Marc's face. And suspending Ancestral Visions, which he hopes to untap and, be relevant.
Hopes to use, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Karn does kill you slowly, so...
It does. I think Mark's looking for some green mana or some payoff.
I see.
We have a Nicol Bolas
Yeah.
in the hand, and that's what I want to happen.
I want it to happen very badly.
So we need a star. We need some way to generate green mana for it to resolve. So that Oath of Nissa.
Has he missed one lane drop or two?
We've missed 2 now.
Okay.
Bob's has been able to hit each land drop each turn.
He's being very aggressive. He knows maybe not Grixis versus Tron, but he knows fair deck versus Tron.
Sure.
And he knows what cards are dead and what he has to do to give himself the best chance to win this game.
Oh, don't forget your Envisions. Yep. Put it right there in the middle of the table so you don't forget.
I don't feel any shame about putting a die on the top of my deck. Craig Wesco does it.
Yep. Again, Mark, just be real conservative with this O-Stone here. Let's see here. What did you draw, Mark? Mark's got payoff for days.
Yeah,
it's just all in the form of 8 mana. There's a Garruk Apex Predator. There's an Ugin. There's 2 Oath of Nissas. There's a Nicol Bolas in his hand. Oh, we're moving a discard, throwing away an Oath. No.
I would not mind seeing a Garruk Apex Predator come down in any way.
I think we cracked this. No, we're just going to leave the stun. You're starting to get into like snap bolt range. What is that card, Mark? Is that a Stirrings? I can't quite tell. Mark, he hasn't. Oh my gosh, Mark just has everything but the green mana or one more land. That other card that we see is
Johnny Vengeance sent to the bin. What do you do when you see your Tron opponent discard a Johnny Vengeance?
At this point, you know something's up, right?
You're like, okay, this is not normal.
And there's an Ulamog.
Yeah.
So this is kind of insane. I really hope, Mark, this is the last turn. I think you just have to crack this stone right here on attacks and kind of hope that you find enough.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. All right, so I've never seen a Tron player getting punished so hard with Tron in play.
So this is the exact same thing. The exact thing that Mark was playing around with that Snapcaster Mage. His life total was getting a little low, so he finally elected to crack the O-Stone, and now Bob has the Tassiger.
Right.
So what do we got here?
So that's a 2-turn clock. Looks like he drew a Sphere, which is a redraw.
Well, we've got 2 redraws. So we got Sphere into green, which can just go straight
to Ancient Stirrings.
Or Oath.
Or just Oath. Did he have a second Oath?
Yeah, he has 2 Oaths.
Well, of course he did if he pitched one. Okay, so, and it looks like he drew...
I don't know.
It looks like an Eldrazi of some sort.
We go Oath into Tower, into just 8 mana.
Alright, so
Ugin.
Stir the pot. Marc Raschella is at the stove. And
I was so excited.
Man, this card, Ancient Stirrings looks at so many cards.
Yeah, you only get to take a little bit with you.
I know, but it's still you dig fairly deep.
That's not a tower, so we're only looking at...
That is a mine.
That's
right?
a mine.
Yeah.
So we have 2, 4...
I don't know what...
We have 7 again.
I don't know what they were thinking when they approved that to be a mine.
It just looks exactly like
a tower. Yeah, I mean...
look like for once in Tron's life, Mark, it looks like we have Tron, but nothing to do with Tron.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to activate Tassiger and mill over 2 lands.
Give me
We're probably not giving you Bolt. We're probably not giving you Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah,
we're going to give you the random... It's a random draw.
One of the bad trips.
We're still at end step, so we're just going to effectively use our mana efficiently here.
Mm-hmm.
And draw a random card. So, and now this Ancestral Visions. We lasted long enough for Visions to come off.
So many cards. Right.
Bob getting to do a lot of nothing. There's just... Oh, we found a Tar Pit, so that's another threat.
Yeah, and gives him a second threat in case Mark rips Oblivion Stone here.
So draw spells doing sometimes what they do, and that's finding you more draw spells.
Mark is dead on board.
He has to... Well, I mean, you could spend all your mana on a Ugin.
You could,
or he can cast a card.
Well, then
or an Ulamog,
and then Creeping Tar Pit only takes him to 1.
So you could do Ulamog right here.
Yeah, and
so
then
Ulamog
you could exile
the and
the Tassiger. Yeah.
And you know what? You know what does not play well against Ulamog? Remand.
Because the trigger is a cast.
It's all on cast. Yeah, it's all on cast. Sure, draw a card, lose 2 permanents. Seems great.
We have a game. I mean, Bob is obviously demonstrated for us that he enjoys drawing cards, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him make that play. Although remanding a Karn seems like a much better use of it. All right, but Mark is going to pack it up. He knows when he's been beat. Bob Levdanskey is up a game with Grixis control.
Seeing the writing on the wall. So out of the sideboard here, I'll talk about Bob. He's hoping to find copies of Fulminator Mage. Let's see what he's got. Staticaster's not going to do anything. Damnation's probably not the best. We're going to bring in any number of Fulminator Mages, maybe some Surgicals to, hopefully get that blow up your Tron land surgical value.
What is the colorless red that's not actually red spell?
Or the Devoid Crumble to Dust?
Yeah, Crumble to Dust.
Bob may have that in his side. I don't know.
I'm sure he came here respecting Tron because it's been on the upswing recently.
Yeah. We're looking for Bob to probably take out cards like Fatal Push, things that don't necessarily have targets.
Spell Snare.
Mm-hmm. The best thing you can get with Spell Snare is just the Sylvan Scryings. Maybe take out Bolts.
Yeah, or at least shave. Trim on them.
Yeah, you definitely shave.
It depends on how much you have to board in.
Alright, so Mark just put something kind of nifty in a hopefully yes pile. One, he's putting in some Warping Wheels to maybe counter a Crumble to Dust or counter some of the other Sorcery Speed interaction that Bob may have. But Mark just put a Noxious Revival from his sideboard into play.
Ooh.
And
you don't get that. You don't see that card played enough.
And his reasoning, and I've talked to him about this before, is he just wants to do it. He just wants
to do it.
He just wants to get him.
I respect that so much.
He wants his opponent to surgical him, and he just wants to get him in response. And just have the opponent reach across the table and be like, what does this Phyrexian mana spell do? Oh, I guess I paid 2 life.
Got it. That happened.
Yep.
But to be fair, Mark probably paid 2 life too.
Yeah, I guess.
That's parity. That's fair.
But here, whoever's casting the surgical extraction thinks they're ahead.
Yeah, they think they do. They think they are.
So we're going to be watching to see if that happens. Out of Mark, it's Planeswalker Tron. It's Tron. It's a bit of a brew.
It could have anything, and he should be favored here. He probably doesn't feel like he has to change too much. Maybe he has some Silver Bullet Planeswalkers. He makes his Planeswalker suite a little more ideal against a particular matchup. Yep,
just against the Blood Moon.
Make all my guys.
That's a little bit
lightning
silly.
bolts.
I do like seeing these
You say it's a little bit silly, but look what he's doing.
So out of these weird, different, non-meta versions of Tron, I like to see cards come out of the side like Thought-Knot Seer, Reality Smasher. So the opponent sees, hey, you're playing Tron, you're playing Planeswalkers. Mm-hmm. Hey, I can take out my my creature removal, and then all of a sudden a big old spaghetti monster, Reality Smasher, coming down and just smashing your face in.
So transformational sideboard into Eldrazi Tron?
Well, not necessarily fully transformational.
Or just bring in a couple.
Some different payoff spells that are...
Some Thought-Knot Seers and some Reality Smashers.
That may not be on the radar.
I've seen just regular green-red Tron decks that are just playing Thought-Knot Seers like Vendilion Clicks.
Thragtusks.
Yeah, Thragtusks. I've seen that a lot. That feels like a classic to me. Alright, so looks like both players are considering their 7s. Hopefully we're going to get to see a 14-card game 2 here. It looks like they're both in the tank, or perhaps Bob may just be waiting on Mark to declare.
Yeah, Mark has the priority here.
Yeah, so Bob is definitely considering his cards, though.
So who are you rooting for here?
I try to stay as impartial as possible,
all right.
But in this circumstance, Tron might be my most hated deck of all time. Although I can't hate this one too much because of all.
We're trying to cast Nicobolus.
Yeah, I can't.
Apex Predator. He pitched in a Johnny Vengeance.
I know. I can't hate this one too much.
If you're gonna play Tron at FNM,
mm-hmm.
this is something to do. I don't know if it's the best thing to be doing, but it's something to do.
When I was playing a lot of Modern, my deck choice philosophy was always be twin. Always lose to Tron.
It's alright. I'm right there with you. I never play a deck that can reasonably beat Tron. Looks like Mark's going to take a quick mulligan down to 5 here.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
down a game.
I do think this deck can mulligan well. It doesn't need
Typical
a lot
Tron does, but I I got no data on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna base this off the data I already have, and it's what I want to see happen. No offense, Bob, but I want to see you get killed by a Knuckle Balls this turn.
I want to turn 4 Knuckle Balls.
Yeah, it's going to happen, and just start ticking them up. Just blow this up, blow that up. Okay, so I see a green mana, and he's going to scry looking at a mine, I think, and he's going to keep it on top. So things are looking up, and there's an Ugin. Oh, I'm a real big fan of that card.
We're going to play a Tower and Pass. Bob's going to draw. We're going to main phase crack this fetch, go down to 17. I'll look at maybe
Serum Visions, possibly.
Yeah, Serum Visions, Ancestral Visions.
Possibly.
It's not black, so it can't be any kind of discard spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, we're just going to set up here.
Okay, so draw. I'm going to say top, bottom, call it right now.
Bottom.
You waited. You waited till...
You were right. I was just telling you were wrong.
Uh-huh.
That's all that was. So Mark's going to take his draw here. Play another piece of Tron. So, the deck is naturally going to mulligan down to 5, and, just naturally have Tron on turn 3.
Right.
Like you do.
They always have it. It's disgusting. Alright, so here's a star.
So that's green mana, so that might give you an Oath. That'd be great. Oh, we also
he
have
has
Grove.
He has the Grove. It doesn't look like he has the Power Plant, though. So I guess they don't always have it. Mark, you made me look like a fool.
But you know what? They might always find it.
So here's a crack, probably making green. Here's another star.
So we can either play the star out here. We have a land drop.
Yep.
Do we have an Oath?
Oh
no, just cycling again.
Yeah.
Well, it's still green.
He's not under any pressure.
Oh, okay.
I found another mine, unfortunately.
So if I'm Bob, so we left a Terminate in, some Counter Squalls. Let's see here. What else do we have? You're being quite nice. I think I saw at least a Fulminator Mage. So,
as a Jund player, I expect him to pack some kind of Tron hate.
There's always Fulminator Mages.
I think this is the first time I've actually ever seen Bob play anything other than Jund.
It's been in a rough spot recently. A lot of these combo decks just don't care about Tarmogoyf, and discard isn't always necessarily enough. You want a little bit of counter magic instead. Also, Fatal Push is kind of... although Jund can play the card, it's just not necessarily enough. Alright, so Bob has a decision here to make.
No!
Wait, does he have it? Oh.
No,
we have a Sorin.
Still good, though. Oh, man. Sorin... What is the name of that Sorin? The Grave...
the Grim Nemesis.
Grim Nemesis, yeah.
So he looks like he's supposed to be in a rock band.
That is such an aptly named card to be in a Tron deck.
Grim Nemesis.
Yes.
So Bob's going to quickly take a peek here, and we get to look a little bit too. So he's going to see the Warping Whales and all variety of Planeswalkers. He's going to take another quick peek. It's like, what do you have in here? Oh, that's Garok Apex Predator. Oh, that's a Nick of Balls. Oh, you can see them chuckling.
Show us all. Bob, show us all of them.
Bob didn't know until this moment right here. But
we had a really great moment on stream during States where I think Adam was playing against a Dredge player. I want to say it was Brian Swanson. And he surgicaled Brian, and Brian, after the surgical, only had 4 cards left in his deck. So Adam just showed us his entire library. It was very considerate.
Just like all 4 up.
Here's all of every spell he has. So we literally knew for the rest of his dredges or draw steps what the cards could be.
Is that the one time that you actually start to thought scour your dredge opponent?
Yeah, probably.
You got to see all the lines.
That didn't happen, but that would have been great.
Just mill out your dredge opponent.
Yep, love it.
So we see Mark here resolving probably the most powerful cantrip still left in Modern of Ancient Stirrings, picking out a basic Swamp. Didn't expect to see that one. Not in a Tron deck.
I would imagine that card would be banned if it were blue.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe even
if it found instant or sorcery.
Maybe if it was any color other than like green or white.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's Fulminator Mage. Second Fulminator Mage.
So at this point we
probably take the green.
Yeah, we take the Grove. Or we attack.
I like taking the green, but
I like attacking.
He doesn't have a clock, so it may depend on the makeup of the rest of his hand.
Yeah, if we don't have a Snapcaster Mage or anything.
Swamp. Okay.
Swamp, you can play an O-Stone for 3 mana. You can he has O-Stone and Warping Whale.
What is the swamp for?
If you want a hard cast Garrote, Apex Predator.
Okay.
You know, you can actually cast that one.
Yeah, you could.
With just Tron and a green source.
I mean, I guess technically with your stars, you could cast a Nicol Bolas too.
That's an achievement to unlock. That's like the platinum
like
achievement.
You casting Progenitus out of your Elves deck.
I have tried so many times,
It
and
just doesn't happen.
Nope. It just never ends up being right to hard cast Progenitus.
All right, Bob's down to 13 off the Bloodstained Mire.
Is this Modern's gonna see long enough for a Visions come off? We're gonna draw.
This is Bob's second of the match, which is probably not something I would have predicted it sitting down here.
A lot of times when you're watching Modern, you're gonna see Ancestral Visions kind of like the person die with it just sitting on one counter.
Yeah. Okay, so here's Fulminator Mage in for 2, taking Marc down to 18.
And then a sack. Yep. Okay.
Okay, that meant he had pressure to follow.
Oh no, we're gonna surgical the green sources too. We're just
is
rude over here.
Well, he's also just getting information about the cards.
All right, so let's look.
Yeah.
So we have
Nicol Bolas.
Yep. Wurmcoil Engine for value.
I saw
Ulamog.
some green elf planeswalker in the fetal position. I'm not familiar with that one.
What, Nissa?
I don't know, but it was some green lady and she was curled up like this.
That's Sylvan Scryings, Ryan. Come on now.
Oh, my mistake. Alright, so all the groves are gone. So Punishing Fire isn't too much of a threat anymore.
So a couple more turns and Marc can still hard cast, Ugin.
Yeah.
Ugin's still an out.
I mean, I have seen Tron players win multiple times after getting their pieces surgicaled.
Yeah, a lot of times they just the opponent can't find a threat to put them off quickly enough, and suddenly they're staring down a couple of Wurmcoil Engines.
Yeah, I was going to say, oftentimes Wurmcoil Engine is the card that gets them there.
Hey, Relic. Relic, that's basically a redraw. And
Yeah.
Bob's tapped pretty low here, so he couldn't get any value out of a Snapcaster Mage or a Colligan's Command. It may be the just proper time just to go ahead and rip and draw a card here.
I think you're looking for a second land here, although Marc does have Warping Whale, so I can see a little bit of temptation to keep up the 2 mana here. But Bob just also has the opportunity to just attack and do nothing, and he knows about the Warping Whale, so he doesn't have to kick any sorceries into it.
So instead, we're going to make Bob choose a card to send back. You can select a land.
So, you know what play I like there from Marc?
Just crack it.
Make a Scion and block.
I mean, he's not in a winning position. You want to use your mana as efficiently as possible. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It also gives an opportunity to remove Bob's threat. I don't hate that. It seems real good. You could also just, it's Warping Whale. You can exile Snapcaster Mage. It's power or toughness. So, Bob over here going to suspend yet another Ancestral Visions. Marc going to go ahead and fall down to 14 after the attack from the Snapcaster Mage.
Alright, here's the Relic being activated. Bob's going to say, bye-bye, Polluted Delta.
I don't know. If you're Marc here, I feel like you're just looking for some stars, another land drop. You just want to hit your... Oh, we have the Noxious Revival. We just want to hit our land drops until we're able to cast some spells.
What is the card under Ancient Stirrings in Marc's graveyard?
I'm not sure. Right. So we're going to crack it. It does not look like Bob has access to a Colligan's Command to buy back that phone.
Your Nicol Bolas is very frustrated. He does have both the Dragon Planeswalkers in hand, though. That's a cool feeling, I would imagine.
I think the cooler feeling is having them both in play.
Or, yeah, I have not been there. I've never cast a Ugin myself. Cast many Nicol Bolas.
Ugin is he's the Spirit Dragon. He's a very powerful planeswalker.
Oh, you don't have to tell me.
All right.
And here's a forest, so that's a start.
So forest, Tron's turned off at this point.
He can Sylvan Scrying to just make a land drop for next turn, though.
I like that. It's just being mana efficient at this point is Marc's goal.
And that's a Sylvan Scrying is an instant, correct?
Sylvan Scrying? Oh no, it's sorcery.
It's sorcery. Okay, so he has to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that looks
Bob's just looking at just thumbing that counter squall right to the front.
I love remanding here.
This is probably one of the most juicy remand targets you're going to get. Marc doesn't have access to a second green source here, so it's just a full-on time walk.
We were joking about how Remand was not good in game 1, but Remand is actually extremely powerful against Tron because a lot of times they're tapping out to cast one spell per turn.
It's sometimes just the best thing you have available to do as the Grixis control
Counter
player.
Squall is also extremely strong in this position. Here's another 2.
Counter Squall paired with an actual threat just means you're clocking your opponent. You're not just dealing with the threat, but you're actually going ahead and reducing your turn, your clock in this case, by 1. Right. So we're going to redeploy the Sylvan Scries
Imagine
here.
This is a Counter Squall. Yep.
Yeah.
That also takes a whole turn off of Bob's clock.
Mm-hmm. And we have a second Counter Squall, so that first one's not even we're not even being ambitious with that one, or we're wasting it at all.
And I imagine it looks like he has a Cryptic Command in hand too. And that might just be cut off all of Marc's outs.
You know what I like here? We have Cryptic Command. We send a message.
Yeah.
We just bounce a land.
Yeah. So here's Noxious Revival. Trying for... That might be...
She's trying to get back the Sylvan Scrying so he can hit a land drive. This is an end step. I think so.
Yeah, because he had to pay 2 for the Sylvan Scrying, so he should be at 4.
So Counter Squall plus Cryptic Command plus Snapcaster beatdowns. I think that's the line here.
We'll let the players figure it out for themselves, but it looks like Bob should have this one locked up.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so Bob did let that resolve. And here's the Sylvan Scrying, which will not resolve. Which
Counter Squall
takes Marc to 2, I believe. It looks... They have him at 4, but...
Warping Well. They've been keeping track. It's sometimes hard to keep track of everything up here.
We'll let them take care of that.
So, on upkeep here, it looks as though Marc is going to try and exile Snapcaster Mage. We're just going to Cryptic Command, counter that, draw a card. We're going to keep our threat in the battlefield.
Was he trying to exile the Snapcaster Mage or counter the Ancestral Visions?
Oh, that seems like a better play to me.
Well, actually, I kind of like...
Well, at the life total here, yeah.
He may have also just been trying to exile the Snapcaster Mage before Bob got to draw 3 counter spells.
Just 3, right?
Well, I mean, it just seems to be that's what Bob draws in this game. So there's a Snapcaster Mage. Yep. So Bob Levdanskey is going to take this one 2-0 over Marc Raschella. I'm sure Bob, as the Tron player, has got to feel good in this position, and Marc's got to be like cursing at this deck.
Oh yeah, Marc. I mean, Bob's playing the stronger deck against the field. Marc's here at F&M. He's having a lot of fun. He's trying to cast Nicol. He's trying to cast Ugin the Spirit Dragon. He's trying to cast Apex Predator, Ajani Vengeant. I don't know, all the things.
So I think there's a good chance we can run downstairs and get a game 3 under the camera.
All right, so I'm going to go do that and try and see if we can find you guys something to watch.
Yep, and we will be right back, guys. Thanks for watching.
See you shortly.